Well, thank you, Anita. And colleagues, welcome to Liverpool for the NHS Confederation Conference 2014. Now, I became Deputy Chair of the NHS Confederation in November, and I'm delighted to have this opportunity to open our annual conference. This is the time in the year when the NHS comes together. And it's a really important year for the NHS, particularly as we move within touching distance of the general election, and it's really great to see so many colleagues here. There are over 1,600 delegates who've registered for the conference. There's over 110 or so exhibitors and 35 supporters. Thank you all for your contributions. And I would like to invite as many of you delegates as possibly can to join us at the NHS Confederation stand in the exhibition hall for a welcoming drink at 6:30 tonight. But please note, it's one free drink each. Times are hard. I'm kidding, really, but anyway. In common with many of you, I've been coming to these conferences for many years. And I was delighted to have the opportunity to join the board because I believe the Confederation will be a vital organisation for the difficult but exciting times that lie ahead. And across the NHS, we do face probably the most challenging time, I think, for a generation or more. The money is tighter than ever, but demand keeps rising. And some of our models of patient care are beginning to lag behind the health conditions that we're treating today. And health inequalities continue to deteriorate, with levels of smoking and alcohol abuse and obesity often left unchecked. And against this backdrop, I think it is essential that we have an organisation, the Confed, that brings together the whole system and represents us to those that shape the policy. Now, we've got a cracking programme, and we're really pleased to welcome Simon Stevens to his first conference as the new NHS England CEO. And Simon's appointment was greeted with great optimism through the service, and it will be fascinating to hear what he has to say later this afternoon. And the NHS Confederation also has a new chief executive, of course, Rob Webster. Many of you will know Rob. He's been both a provider and a commissioner, and he's spent time at the Department of Health, and he is an ideal leader of our Confederation. And I wish both Simon and Rob the best of luck in their roles and their challenging roles. I know they will do them very, very well. Now, the Confederation has also refreshed itself recently, and last week made a number of new trustee appointments, and I'm delighted to welcome these new trustees, and I think they're shown on the screen here, to the Confed board. Please hunt them out and have a chat during the course of this conference. Later this afternoon, or pretty shortly actually, we'll also hear from Sir Stuart Rose, who's doing a really interesting piece of work on how we attract and retain the leaders we need to create a sustainable NHS. As you would expect, we've got all the top politicians speaking, along with international experts like Patrick Soon-Shiong. And on Friday, we continue to focus on the quality of care and the patient experience. Our final speaker, for example, will be Dr. Kate Granger, who, as many of you will know if you read her blog, is both a doctor and a terminally ill cancer patient. In between, we've got many really good sessions focusing on the issues you told us mattered to you. And there will, of course, be plenty of time and opportunities to visit the exhibition and, most importantly, to network. Networking is perhaps the most valuable part of a large conference such as this. I remember David Nicholson was fond of saying, "Don't look up, look out." And I would say to you, don't look up, look around you. The leadership of the NHS is here, and it is those in this hall and others like us that will pilot and lead this great National Health Service of ours to a sustainable future. So finally, just before we get going, I'd like to thank, on your behalf, all those people who have organised this conference. It's a huge task, and I'd particularly like to thank our two key event partners, Allocate Software and Nant Health, for their tremendous support for this conference. So please have an enjoyable and a constructive conference. Thank you.